Welcome back. Eileen Higgins is the newest member of the Miami-Dade County Commission. The political newcomer represents District 5, which straddles parts of Miami and Miami Beach. In a special election, she defeated Zoraida Barrero, the wife of the district's former commissioner. Bruno Barrero resigned to run for the congressional seat being vacated by Ileana Ross-Lehtinen, who is retiring. So please welcome to Facing, for the first time, Commissioner Eileen Higgins.
Thanks.
Thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Appreciate it.
So congratulations, first of all, on the victory. One of the things that people know about you is that you ride the bus.
I don't know why that's so interesting, but I do indeed ride the bus.
So transportation, obviously a big issue for you, and you have a unique perspective because you take public transportation.
Well, you know, we talk about our traffic problems, and what I always say to people is, like, we are the traffic problems. Like, and obviously some people live and work in a place where only a car will get us there, but I guarantee you, if you look around at what you do during a week, you can probably find a way to go somewhere on foot or on a bike or on a bus or on a trolley. And if we all would do that together, well, we might slowly but surely help with our traffic quagmire that we're tend to be locked in. But yeah, I use it for a lot of reasons. One, to get around. Two, I like it and I enjoy it. I talk to strangers on the bus, and you see the community in a really different way because you pass by neighborhoods you might normally fly by. And you really get to see firsthand how people live, how people walk. Can they cross the street? Are there safety areas for pedestrians? Are the street lights on or off? So,
and I'm sure you get a pulse on the community too, in terms of what they care about, what issues are on their minds.
You never know who you're sitting next to, so it could be pretty fun.
So now that you've been elected, what are your plans?
Well, I started on Monday, so I have the keys to my new office, and we had our first commission meeting on the charter review on Tuesday. So this month we go forward with a couple of the last commission meetings before the August break, and then gearing up to review the mayor's budget and get that set, which has to be done for September. So there's a lot of items that are going to come up in August. Some are going to be transportation related. A lot of the demonstration projects that are smaller, not the SMART plan, big ticket items, but some smaller things that we can do that are, I don't want to say quick and dirty, but maybe I'll say quick and dirty, and not as expensive, that can get different parts of the county moving a little bit quicker while we wait for the studies on the SMART plan. So that appears to be July. I have a lot to learn, so I'm also doing that as well.
So would you say transportation is your biggest priority?
Transportation is one of my biggest priorities, but you know, and it's our favorite complaint, right, is traffic. We love doing it. But underneath it all, when I talk to people in District 5, their big worry is actually this sort of imbalance between salaries and cost of living here, particularly housing. And so for me, I actually see looking at and creating more affordable and workforce housing at a quicker pace than we've been doing. I think that is a super big priority as we're working on transportation as well. So it's not something, when people disclose how worried they are about housing and about the salaries they're making, it's more personal, right? We can all complain about traffic, but that's really what worries people here. And so I hope to dedicate some time and make some changes and help some of the other commissioners also. They're very committed to this, accelerate some of their work in that area.
It's a big issue to tackle, definitely.
Yes, yeah.
I want to talk to you about why you decided to run. I mean, this is a very unique time in American politics right now, a record number of women running, seeking local office. What was it that actually propelled you to run?
Well, I live in District 5, and I think you know, I had lived in Miami kind of 2006, 7, 8, and I got transferred away. And when I came back about 4.5 years ago, this was the first place I'd ever lived where quality of life had actually gone down rather than up with the passing of time. And that actually got me more involved in the community. So I started getting involved in community groups, working with neighbor groups, sitting on the other side of the commission asking for things I wanted. And so when this opportunity came up to serve on the commission and be able to be part of improving quality of life, I thought, yeah, sign me up. I'm really interested in doing that for my neighbors, my neighborhood, and all of District 5. And quite frankly, as commissioners, 13 of us, we serve collaboratively everybody in the county. You can't just make district-specific decisions. You have to decide collectively for all of us.
And how about the makeup of the commission now? Because this is a nonpartisan position to hold, but it has become increasingly partisan. You were helped out by the Democrats. Is this a good thing or a bad thing that it's become more partisan?
I can tell you, I was at the last commission meeting. It didn't feel very partisan. Like, we all voted the way we wanted to vote, and if you actually looked at party affiliations, we actually, voted the way we wanted, and what didn't feel that way at all. But let me tell you about District 5. District 5 is 1/3 registered Democrats, 1/3 registered Republicans, and 1/3 independents.
Pretty unique in that regard.
So it's just like Florida. Like, everything is like. So you don't win by being partisan, right? I happen to have progressive people that are excited to see me there, but I can't win, and I wouldn't have won if those were the only voters that wanted me to serve as their commissioner. And so that is not how we won. I talked about the things that matter to people in District 5, right? They care that we solve our traffic and transit problems. They care that we accelerate solutions for housing, and they respected my work experience and my small business experience as someone that could help expand our economic opportunities and create higher paying jobs here. So there's nothing partisan about that. I never met a single person that thought that anything I was saying sounded wildly one direction or the other direction. The results proved that. Like, it was a neighborhood victory from Miami Beach to Little Havana. So,
a lot of door knocking.
My plan is to serve in the best interest of the county, right?
And we
regardless of my party.
We look forward to following your progress. Thank you so much for being here today.
I appreciate you letting me be here.
And we'll be right back after the break.